Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaRakah double honors to the elder apostles, the Ruel, and Shalom to the brothers doing the work concerning truth. Um, got this article on the Free Press, and it just had me thinking about how over here in the UK, they're really going to be pushing the, famine of the word, through here, especially online first, because the laws have been passed to kind of cut down on free speech compared to like the states and whatnot is far further along. Because on the Free Press it says she was arrested for praying in her head, and it said citizens in the UK have been arrested, prosecuted, and convicted for silently praying outside abortion clinics. Even organizing pro-life meetings in your own home may be a criminal offense. So, it's going into abortion, which that's something, whenever it comes up, that's become a hot topic. That's one of the most legendary forms of witchcraft in the modern age, where, you have women in the Western world, especially, doing everything in their power to be able to, to dead their youths. And that's seen as like, the bedrock, the benchmark of them being able to exist, on the planet Earth, which is fucking insane. But so I'll read from the top, skip down a bit. So it says Emma has strong feelings about abortion. She wears T-shirts that say things like pro-life and proud. A devout Catholic, she is a trustee of a pro-life activism group and regularly holds planning meetings at her flat in Edinburgh, England. On her way to work at an office in the centre of town, the 24-year-old passes the abortion facility at the nearby Chalmers Hospital. Sometimes she prays with rosary beads as she walks by. But now she's worried she could get arrested in her neighborhood for wearing that T-shirt, for holding those meetings, or even for praying in her head. It says, on October 4th, Emma, who asked not to be named, got a letter from the Scottish government addressed Dear Resident. Its purpose was to alert her that a home, due to its proximity to the hospital, is now in an abortion censorship zone. This is due to the UK's brand new Safe Access Law, which came into effect September 24th and made it a criminal offence to do anything within 200 meters of an abortion clinic that could influence someone's decision to access, provide, or facilitate an abortion. So yeah, the righteous, just justification for how to basically shutting people down, talking about that. It's like, oh, it's everyone should be able to access it. But in reality, it's one of those things that can easily be expanded upon. They'll start with like, oh, we're doing it just so that everyone should be able to access X, Y, Z, or people should feel a certain way about X, Y, Z. But in reality, it's a way to you pass laws where you can then put restrictions on people. I think it says. Yeah, it says Emma couldn't believe her eyes. The law carries a maximum fine of 10 grand. So you can get fined up to 10 grand, um, you know, for, what was it, doing anything that could influence someone. And yeah, so it could be like standing there with a T-shirt on, which I think she mentions. And then, like it said in the title, silently praying. If you're just standing there praying and they feel like, no, you're making me feel some way, then, you could get thrown in jail and fined 10 grand. And with this as well, it pushes into like how the UK has what Section 4A, the Public Order Act, where anything you do that causes distress and alarm. I think that's more the linchpin, because that's been used against brothers. Where brothers have gone to court, had court cases, been thrown in jail off the back of that law, because it's like man will be out there teaching, someone gets upset, then they police will come and be like, well, cause them distress and alarm. They say, oh, you're doing a protest, blah blah blah, and then off the back of that can just throw you in jail. But then that's the thing is with all that, is something that can easily be expanded. It's already been expanded on. Because all this legislation, all of this legislation. So okay, wait. First country to enforce abortion. Yeah. The fine will be unlimited in Wales and England. Oh, so it's only Scotland that's got the 10k one. That's fucking funny. So it says all of this legislation codifies on a national level a trend that has been creeping across the UK for a decade. 10 years ago in 2014, Parliament empowered local councils to create and police their own antisocial behaviour laws. The intention was to enhance the professional capabilities and integrity of the police. But since 2018, 5 UK districts have used these powers to aggressively limit what people can do, say, and even think in their abortion clinics. And that's not even just in their abortion clinics. There's also what do you call it? It wasn't an abortion clinic. What was it? It was related to Twitter posting tweets online. You know, people getting grabbed up and thrown in jail off tweets, where it's it's just broadening the scope to where that's happened multiple times. That becomes normalized. Then further actions can be justified. And really, with the UK's kind of got that, because with like the Section 4A Public Order Act, that's kind of like a baseline for them to be like, okay, they can push other laws afterwards. So aggressively limit what people can say and even think in their abortion clinics. I spoke to 4 people who have fallen afoul of these restrictions, and a disturbing pattern emerged. In November 2022, Adam Smith Connor, now 51, a physiotherapist and veteran, was interrogated by local authorities in Bournemouth on the south coast of England, which had recently included an abortion censorship zone. It's funny because there was that, abortion's one thing, but the other thing that was getting attention was puberty blockers, and all the fucking LGBT, well, just the T stuff over here in the UK was getting a big pushback. And I saw recently that there was a study done on puberty blockers, but they said they're not going to release it to the public because the information could be used to what you call that, fucking hell. The information could be used to come against the alphabet gang, which looking at then just lets you know this is it's all kind of rigged, man. The mindset of how they're looking at these things. They obviously have a desire in mind where they're using the justification of, we're protecting, we're helping, we're protecting blah 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 groups, to then just be like, okay, well, more and more your freedoms are being shaved away at. But yeah, it's funny because with this one, it's just it's so broad that it's like you could be sitting there, with your eyes closed, daydreaming. If they think you're praying, then they could, you can get a slam with a 10 grand fine. But that's how broad these kind of laws are written up. Because especially with like the Public Order Act, it says literally just anything that causes another person distress and alarm. If you both of you are coming towards a corner, and then like you just turn the corner just before they get there, that might cause someone distress. I'll be like, oh shit, I almost bumped into someone. Like, off the bat, off that law, if they wanted to, they could grab you up and choke slam you into jail. Which, that's fucking hilarious. But that's how much of a mess, this whole situation is. Because I read this, Amos 8 and 11, it says, behold, the days come, saith the Most High Power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord Yahweh. And yeah, that's where all these things are going, to where it's basically going to come down to the famine of the word, man. The word not being able to go out. Because all these nations are basically going to get, well, all these nations. I'm looking at the UK. These laws are kind of going to get put in place And the thing is as you know more crisis hits, the thing you have now is, especially with it's like anti-Semitism. Uh, that's a big angle they're being used for online. The whole racial issues you have online as well, going back and forth. Those things are at the forefront of people's minds, to where they're looking at like, yo, um, they're at the forefront, like, oh, you know, it's if they're saying, okay, we're throwing people in jail for saying, you know, XYZ about black people, or XYZ about Amalek, then you know, people are kind of more like, well, yeah, you man shouldn't be saying that online. But then obviously it's you know it's something that's already been broadened, but it you know it catches people. That's how Esau gets down. He's wily, man. He's more subtle than any creature in the garden. It seems you know something being done justly, but clearly you know it's gonna end at wickedness, man. But yeah, I'll leave it there. Shalom, shalom.